All right, so in this video, we're going to get a quick tour of Audacity. It's the editor that I have been recommending to you because it is free, it is cross platform, and there are lots of tutorials on how to use it. Now, this is not going to be a full comprehensive tutorial or anything like that. I just want to give you a sort of lay of the land. This is Audacity for Mac. So we have our control buttons up in the top left. We have some important actions here, like the envelope tool and the draw tool. These aren't really things I'm going to get into. We're going to want to make sure the selection tool is selected. And then you have some effects and other menus across the top. In this video, we're going to record a little bit. We're going to learn how to remove white noise. We're going to learn how to remove mistakes. And we're going to learn how to add a music track. So let's get started. First, you want to make sure that you have your core audio set to your main microphone. So you want to make sure that you are properly recording the right microphone. Once that's done, I have a few here. Just make sure it's the one that you want to use. Once that's done, we're just going to press the record button and we're going to wait 3 seconds to capture the room noise. We're going to do that because Audacity is going to use that room noise to remove white noise from the rest of the clip. It's super cool. So I'm just going to record a quick intro for my podcast and then we'll get to some editing. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of How I Built It, the podcast that asks, how did you build that? Today, my guest is. Today, my guest is Bill Gates of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bill, how are you today? Okay, so that was great. We got our room noise here. You can see that on the timeline. You probably won't hear anything. I actually have a pretty decent setup. So, but we'll use that to remove room noise. I also messed up. You'll see that I clapped because I wanted to be able to see very clearly where I messed up. So I messed up and then I clapped, and now I know where about to edit. But the first thing we're going to do is remove white noise, or room noise. So I'm going to highlight this section of the timeline, the beginning section, and I'm going to go to Effect, and then I'm going to go to Noise Reduction. The first thing Audacity asks you to do here is get a noise profile. It's going to use the section of the timeline I highlighted, and then it's going to get a noise profile of just that line. Once it does that, I'm going to press Command A or Control A if you're on a Windows machine to select the entire line, and we're going to use that noise profile to remove any white noise. So I'm going to go to Effect, Noise Reduction again, and now we have the noise profile. We have some values here, and we can click Preview to see what it sounds like. So that sounded good. I'm going to click OK. Great. And so now there's no noise in my intro. Now it's time to remove that part of the audio. We don't want 3-4 seconds of silence in the beginning of our audio. So I'm going to use the cursor again to highlight, the select tool to highlight. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click the scissors to cut that part. We can also use Command or Control X. And once I do that, that information is just completely removed. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I know I messed up right over here. What I like to do is see where I picked up. So I start with today. I'm going to go back in the timeline and look for where I say today. All right, so I actually start today right around here. Yeah. So I'm going to zoom in on my timeline. I'm doing that by expanding my two fingers on the touchpad. You can use these icons up here as well. I'm going to try to isolate the today part as much as possible. And then I'm going to highlight, select this whole area. I'm going to leave a little bit of space here, and I'm going to cut that. Great. So next we are going to normalize the track. That is adjust the volume so that everything kind of sounds okay or similar. You see I blow out okay a little bit here. It gets pretty high up on the line, whereas I'm pretty quiet right before that. So again, I'll select this entire line with Command A. I'm going to go to Effect, and I'm going to choose Normalize. So this is going to do a few things. It's also going to normalize the peak amplitude to some decibel level. That's a volume level. -1 is selected here. I've seen -2 selected a lot or recommended a lot. Either way, you can select and then preview. So it caught the today in that preview and it sounded good, not too loud. I'm going to click OK. And then you see the line reduced a little bit. So the last thing I want to show you how to do is add some music. We'll go to my Finder window here, and I have some music here that I like to use. So I'm going to grab Riot by Music for Makers here. I'm going to drag that right onto the Audacity window, and it's going to add that track underneath. So now they'll play at the same time. So to prevent that, we're going to do some auto ducking. And the first thing I need to do here is actually drag the music track above the voiceover and make sure the audio track is selected here. I'm going to go to Effect, Auto Duck, and then it's got some default settings here. Let's just see how this sounds. So we might want to lower it just a little bit more here and see how that sounds. It's kind of hard to tell because we're not hearing my voiceover, so I'm just going to select and then play. So that's not too bad. I might want to just lower that audio track a little bit overall. So that's just a quick way to auto duck. This has been a quick walkthrough of Audacity. We learned how to record and add tracks. We learned how to trim and delete. And then we learned how to remove white noise, normalize, and auto duck. In the description for this video, in the course information below, I'm going to link to more robust videos and tutorials by actual audio people who know exactly what they're doing and can explain some of these terms a little bit better. But that is the basics. You should be ready to do some of the basic audio editing after this video. Your action item, download Audacity using the link below and start playing around with it.